Hello YouTube, my name is Paul, hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to the second part of my PlayStation 3 collection. Games I've got to show you today then are just your basic releases. A few of these games I had, well they're still my originals that I bought in the shop, which is quite unusual for me because most of the times I've ever owned a computer before or a console I've normally either given the games away to somebody or sold them on. So it makes a nice change to actually have them still in the collection. The only other collection like that is my PC collection. So yeah, I'll get straight on, or crack straight in, or whatever I'm trying to say. Let's get on with it, I should say. There's about 60 games here. Like I said, about half of them are my originals. So the first game I've got to show you then is The Last of Us, which unfortunately was the last of my PlayStation 3, because once I put this game in and played it until I got to the subway section, I think, downtown, bloody PS3 died. So I had to wait a couple of years, if I remember rightly, to play the remastered version on the PlayStation 4. But what an amazing game this is. It's got an amazing story. A lot of people go on about the game mechanics being pretty much, well, nothing revolutionary, but it's the whole package. It's an amazing game. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, to the point I completed it and jumped straight back into it in sort of hardcore mode. I got quite far. They completely and utterly run out of flipping ammunition. But yeah, what a game that is. I'm really looking forward to the sequel of that. Looks bloody gruesome. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. It's the only Need for Speed game I've ever played. I did play it for a bit. It didn't captivate me. Not bad though. Graphically were pretty good at the time. But yeah, I didn't play it a lot. But it's not too bad. The Driver San Francisco. I've completed this game. I actually quite enjoyed it, to be completely honest. The only Driver I've ever completed. Yeah, graphically it was very good. It was a good game. I really enjoyed the first two Driver games on the PlayStation 1. Driver 3 I had on the Xbox, I think. And that was a decent game, but it was buggy as hell, wasn't it? Red Dead Redemption. Now this was a flipping awesome game. Actually, still is an awesome game. I'm still trying to make my way through the second one now. It's just so bloody big. But I love this one. Brilliant. Grand Theft Auto on horses. But yeah, absolutely fantastic game. All these games are really common. There's nothing here that's rare, or even close to being flipping rare, to be completely honest. And all dirt cheap. So if you are into your last generation consoles, it is a really good time to start picking these games up. I'll show you a few games that I've got that A, I can't pronounce particularly well, and B, I've never played. I picked these up all sealed actually as part of a bundle. So is it Valkyria Chronicles? Never played these games, so these games are only good. Please leave a comment below. I'll crack them open and give them a go. But yeah, they look really good, really colourful. Japanese inspired, no doubt. But yeah, does look quite good. Same with this next one. Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice. Should have paid more attention in school really, during the English classes. Again, looks nice and colourful, but never played it. Game my missus bought, she picked it up from Tesco I think a few years ago. I've never played it, to be honest. It's called Remember Me. Capcom game. Never heard of it. Oh, what's next? Condemned 2. Now this game took me a little while to get into. Not sure why. I don't think I found it difficult. Maybe it was the controls, I'm not sure. But when I actually persevered with it, I really enjoyed it. And I'm quite a big wuss when it comes to horror games. I don't know about you, but I kind of hide behind these imaginary walls as I'm kind of creeping around the corners. But yeah, this game I found actually to be great fun in the end. It was quite flipping freaky at times. There's some reason that put me off it initially. I'm not sure it was the controls or what. But yeah, if you do have the same problem as me, definitely stick with it because it's bloody good fun. Batman Arkham Origins. I've never played this one. Played the previous two. No doubt it's probably a very, very good game. Next up is Assassin's Creed 2. Probably the last Assassin's Creed game I played to completion. Well, probably the last one I played that I actually enjoyed, to be completely honest. A great improvement on the first one. The game mechanics were tweaked to make it more fun. But again, it's one of those games that's got a massive world in it. A lot of the side quests are very, very repetitive. If you're someone who tends to like to go for these trophies, which I think is one of the first games on the PlayStation you can actually get awards for the PlayStation Network, it can get very repetitive. But I enjoyed it anyway. Did enjoy it. I did beat it. It was definitely better than the first one. Next game's another game I completed, LA Noire. Grand Theft Auto. It's not quite that, but I did really like the detective elements. As you approach the crime scene, looking for evidence that will help you progress through the level. Got a really good sort of difficulty curve. But yeah, I thought it was a really good story. I can't remember it that well because it was, what, 10 years ago, but I really enjoyed playing this game. I would even probably contemplate getting the remaster for the PlayStation 4. Well, I know one of those games I've never played. Resonance of Fate. Nice bit of cover art. Graphics look really good. Unfortunately, I never played it. This one I can't even pronounce. Ranko something something longest day. It's about as good as you're going to get from me. Again, never played it. Still sealed. Another one I've not played is Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory. Some flipping names on these. My assumption is they're all kind of Japanese inspired. Certainly know how to name a game, don't they? Resident Evil 5, a game I played pretty much to the end until I got to a point where I got flipping stuck. And the problem with me, once I get to a point where I get stuck like that and leave it too long, I don't go back and play it. But yeah, not a great game. It's good, it's okay. I thought it was alright, but not as good as sort of your original 4 really. The number 7 annihilated this, but I never played 4 and 6 anyway. But yeah, not the best Resident Evil. What we got next? What have we got next? Now these games I love, this series in particular. This is Heavy Rain. I think this game I played to completion, but I managed to kill every character in the game besides the dad. That's how crap it was. Well, how crap my gameplay was. Every character, I think some guy flipping bled to death for his nose. Better remember the reporter, I can't remember what happened to her, but it's again a really good game. These have been remastered as well. But I can barely remember it, but I know I ended up with one person alive. So yeah, that's me making the correct life choices for them. Next one is Beyond Two Souls. Again, really enjoyed this one, did complete it. Fantastic game. Not as good as Heavy Rain, not as good as Detroit, but give it a go if you do like those two games. Now, it's the only game I played in this particular series, and that's Infamous. That's the original one. I think there's 3 of them. I really enjoyed the fact you can go literally anywhere in quite a large cityscape. But yeah, I played it. I think I completed it as the good guy. You can make these life choices in that as well, but unfortunately I'm quite... Yeah, I like to play it safe really. So yeah, I'm not a destructive person by nature, so I always tend to go with the righteous path. I should flipping rebel a bit, shouldn't I really? Go absolutely friggin' apeshit. Killzone 3. I played this one but not to completion. Very good series of games. Second one I absolutely loved and completed it. Third one got quite far in it. The fourth one I've not really played. I've never played the first one. I think that's a PlayStation 2 game, isn't it? The original Assassin's Creed, which was one of those technical marvels to look at. The sound, the graphics, and everything in the game. It was amazing that you can go on horseback and ride between different parts of the map. Found it a bit funky climbing the top of those towers and diving off into like a cart full of hay. Or straw. Hay would probably smash your face in, but yeah, straw. But yeah, the game mechanics again weren't great, but it did rectify that in the second one, which I already alluded to. A MotoGP 08 or 08 or 8. Not a bad game, played it for a little bit, not really my cup of tea, not sure why I bought it. I bought this game brand new from the shop. If you like that sort of game, I'm assuming it's great fun. Right, next up is a trilogy of games. Uncharted, Drake's Fortune. Absolutely love this game. I was quite tired of Tomb Raider by this point, to be completely honest. This was quite a nice, refreshing experience. Some really nice graphics in this game. I remember going to the submarine stage. I thought the graphics were fantastic. It's nothing compared to like the later two on the PlayStation 3 in terms of how it looks. It's just a nice refreshing reboot of that kind of Tomb Raider style game really. And I played this one to completion. PlayStation 2, what am I talking about? Uncharted 2, PlayStation 2, Wally Brain. Fantastic game, had some fantastic set pieces in this game and graphics were absolutely incredible. It is regarded as one of the best games ever made. But yeah, brilliant game. And much the same as the third one really, really enjoyed that. And I played all these games back to back just before Uncharted 4 came out when I got it on the PlayStation 4. I was all flipping Uncharted out by the time I finished them. But yeah, the second one's definitely the standout title. But they're all good in their own right. Right, it's another one of these games I can't pronounce. Atelier Tutori? The Adventurer of Ireland. Still sealed, never played. Looks good though. Well, the graphics look good. What the gameplay is like, I've got no idea. Another one from the same series, Atelier Maruru, The Apprentice of Ireland. Apparently there's absolutely flipping loads in this series. Well over a dozen anyway. Could be up to about 20 games in that particular series. Next up is one of those cracking games, one of those games that you play, can't get it out of your head because it's that flipping good, and that is Dead Space. I mean, this game, I got so far, got to a character where you shot off his legs and arms and he just grew back, so that kind of freaked me out a little bit. The level, I think you had to move obstacles out of the way whilst this thing was regenerating and chasing you through the flipping level, but at that particular point I ran out of ammo, so that was no good. But yeah, had some amazing set pieces and that flipping nursery rhyme at the beginning, how freaky is that? But yeah, remember the bit where you're outside the ship shooting asteroids? That was flipping immense. We had to go from one part of the ship to the other, but outdoors or in space. It was absolutely amazing. Next one's a sequel to, again, one of my favourite games of all time, and that's BioShock 2. Not as good as the first game. As a standalone game, if BioShock never came out, it probably would have been a really good game. But yeah, it was in the shadow of its predecessor, or its prequel. Very good game in its own right. It's just missing some of the atmosphere from the original. Next up, some one of those games, Atelier Aisha, the Alchemist of Dusk. Bloody hell. Alchemist of Dust. Still got that wrong. I'm going to give up. But yeah, never played it. Call of Duty Ghosts, probably one of the only Call of Duties I never played. Now, I always like the campaign games. I'm not a big online gamer. I don't play much online because it's just the sheer amount of time it takes. It's one of those sort of environments that once I get into it, I probably won't want to leave. And we don't want to be having that, do we? But yeah, not played it. I think that might actually be part of the bigger collector's edition. This is the last Tomb Raider I played. It might have been the last Tomb Raider made in its sort of original form. That's Tomb Raider Underworld. I had to sort of force myself to play this one, because at some point I got bored, but I did complete it. It's okay, not bad, but yeah, you can sort of see why it needed a bit of a reboot really. Next up is GTA 5, the pinnacle of the GTA series in my opinion. I thought it was fantastic. You can flip between 3 different players, 3 strong characters that I thoroughly enjoyed. That Trevor dude's flipping a maniac, isn't he? Really enjoyed it. I'd like to have got the PlayStation 4 version of this, but even nowadays it still holds its value, sort of £15 to £20, which is crazy. I love that game. Only ever played it the once, only completed it the once, but I'd love to have gone back and given it a go. Again, Grand Theft Auto, episodes from Liberty City. I've never seen someone's knob in a game before. It's the first time I've ever seen it. I thought, what the fuck's going on with that? Yeah. Is it the Ballad of someone? Gay Tony? I can barely make that out. And Lost and Damned. I think I played a bit of both, to be completely honest. But yeah. There we go. It's amazing what you remember in a flipping game, isn't it? Red Faction Guerrilla. I enjoyed this game. Played it quite a bit. Not sure why I stopped playing it, to be honest. The fact you can literally destroy anything you come across was quite appealing. First game I got on the PlayStation 3, Resistance Fall of Man. Again, like I said in the previous video, I was quite disappointed with the graphics. PlayStation 3 graphics didn't do a lot for me, to be completely honest, but when you're a PC gamer, you're kind of evolving all the time, and when you actually get to a console which just comes out, they're using quite old tech, I suppose. Did complete that game, but I've not played any of its sequels. It was an okay game. Now this next game, I've only ever played this one game as part of the whole series. I was absolutely impressed to hear Guns N' Roses at the beginning of it. Burnout Paradise. I absolutely flipping love this game. Absolutely brilliant. Again, another game that's been remastered. But I've never played this game before, like in the series. I never played a game in the series, sorry. But yeah, absolutely loved it. I played this one a hell of a lot. And the amount of carnage you can cause is just great fun. Again, from a really good racer, of great fun proportions, to one I'd never really got into, and that's Race Driver Grid. Yeah, one probably for the more discerning driving game enthusiasts out there. But yeah, I didn't really like that, to be honest. Just didn't get into it. It was quite difficult from what I remember. Grand Theft Auto 4. Remember the hype around this one? Bloody hell. The character was really good. Really enjoyed that guy. I can't remember his name. Nico Bellic. But yeah, it's a very gritty one. I thought this was a really, really good storyline to this game. Again, I completed it. Absolutely loved it. Not played it for many years. It had some strange sort of haze effect to the graphics, which didn't ruin the game, but it was a bit off-putting. But yeah, the game itself was absolutely fantastic. Another fantastic game is Killzone 2. I did complete this one. Very good game. Really enjoyed it. The old Hellgast and all that. Sort of parallels to the old Nazis, if you like. Don't know why I bought this. Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. Didn't really play it, to be honest. It was just a taster of the actual full game, really. Another game I really enjoyed is Bad Company Battlefield. Really like this game. Like the fact you can just demolish anything that you came across. Brilliant. I'd like to play this game again, to be completely honest. Yeah, really enjoyed it. It says there's an online mode, but I don't think I ever played the online mode of this. Not that it's probably still up anymore, but yeah, fantastic game. Really, really, really liked it. Now the next game for me personally is probably one of the best games on the system. It's certainly up there with like Uncharted 2, Dead Space and games like that, but this is Batman Arkham Asylum, which I thought was an amazing game. I'd love to go back and play this as well. It's really freaky and kind of captured the Batman universe really, really well. Not like I'm an expert on bloody Batman or anything like that, but it was just brilliant. I'm sure it's Mark Hamill who done the voice for the Joker. I'm pretty sure it was. Which was quite a nice touch, actually. He's done a really good job of it. I highly recommend that. It probably is for me personally my favourite PlayStation 3 game. I should get home from work and put this straight on because it was that flipping good. Well, that's it for the standalone games. The next batch of games I'm going to show you will be all the limited edition slipcases and the smaller collector's editions, which are pretty much the two shelves you can probably see there. And the last video will be the collector's editions, which are in the cabinets anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know most of you probably are not interested in modern games or modern game collecting, because to be honest, there's not a lot of fun collecting them. I found more joy collecting the collector's editions than I did these kind of bog standard games that you see at boot fairs or charity shops, or they're so common it's unbelievable. But like, all these videos are all part of my collection, and literally from the Atari 2600 to the PlayStation 4, it all forms part of what I collect. So by the time I get to the end of these collection videos, which is probably taking me almost 2 years, when I get to the end of the PlayStation 4 one, I'm probably going to go back, because the collection has evolved over the last 2 years. Some collections have shrunk, some collections have grown. Just where I've been refocusing, really. But we'll get to that when the time is right. So thank you for watching the video. Thank you very much for subscribing. And thank you very much, Jay, Cybersnake7, for giving me a shout out. Much appreciated, mate. I'll see you guys again real soon, so take care. Bye for now.